Hello, hello. How are you? We are working on the Prioritize Me podcast. This is the first episode, and we're going to have different hosts. And my name is Keisha Mason Campbell, and I have my documentation here because I want to make sure that we stay in alignment, and I don't want to waste your time, and I want you to be able to receive as we are having this conversation. It is a one-way conversation because I'm doing the talking, but you can always put your comments inside of the chat. You can always DM me, and you can always find me on social media at Keisha Mason Campbell on any of the social medias. But let's get started. Today's topic is, who told you everything was yours to carry? Now, to me, that should sit with you for a moment, and I'm going to repeat it again. Who told you everything was yours to carry? How much of what exhausts you this week actually belonged to you? Like, everything that's happening to you this week, everything that's going on this week, how much of that was actually something that belonged to you? Is it anything that you actually cared about? Or is it what somebody actually handed to you? Something that belonged to somebody else and then they passed it on to you. Was it truly yours to carry? Let's think about that. Because if it wasn't truly yours to carry, guess what? You needed to rethink that thing and decide on another way to handle that instead of carrying what was never yours. Because some of us are tired, overwhelmed, and frustrated, and carrying responsibilities that never had your name on it. I'm going to say never had our name on it, but we carry them anyway. Because we are good people, because we are kind, and because we want to see other people win and we want to help other people. But guess what? If we don't prioritize ourselves and we don't show up for ourselves and we don't take care of ourselves first, it becomes difficult to show up for somebody else out of love and kindness. And that's always the goal. So this is the Prioritize Me podcast. Now, I want to welcome all of you to the Prioritize Me podcast. And when you leave our podcast, you'll always take away real life takeaways. Not anything fictitious or anything like that, but you will have real life takeaways. Things that you can implement and put into your life today. Learn how to put yourself first without feeling guilty. Learn how to focus on you without feeling guilty. Learn how to prioritize yourself without feeling guilty. And being able to show up for others out of love and kindness. And I'm not here because I have life completely figured out, because I don't. I have had some trials and tribulations just like everybody else. But with those trials and tribulations, I've learned like everyone else. But with that, you still have some people who are stuck in their situations, stuck in what they have going on. And because they're stuck, they don't know how to move away from it. They don't know how to move to the next steps. And they're stagnant in what they're dealing with because either they don't want to move, they don't know how to move, or whatever they're dealing with is keeping them stuck in where they are. And because they don't prioritize themselves, they don't know how to move forward. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you be able to move forward. I'm here to help you to be able to prioritize yourself and be able to put yourself first, and then be able to show up for others out of love and kindness. But in all that, learning how to prioritize yourself without feeling guilty, and learning that no is a complete sentence. I have lived through the overcommitting, the overgiving, the second guessing, and trying to be there for everybody and leaving myself out. And I get that and I understand that, but that's not the way to live. You can't leave yourself out showing up for everybody else. But I did learn the hard way. Being needed can feel meaningful while slowly draining your life away. And because you understand that you need to be there for your loved ones, you need to be there for your friends, you need to be there for everybody, actually, right? We need to be there and we show up. But guess what? When we're there for everybody else, who's there for us? And granted, there are some folks that show up for us, but then there's also some folks that always need us and always taking but never giving. And they don't even see that. And it's not their fault. It's just who they are. But you got to learn how to deal with those people. You have to learn how to manage that relationship. You have to learn to be able to say no and be okay with that. because they will come back and make you feel guilty. They will come back and make you feel like you're obligated. They will remind you of all the times that you showed up for them, and now all of a sudden you don't want to. That becomes a problem for them, not you. Then they want an excuse or reason as to why you're saying no. But again, that's for them, not you. They want to feel like, oh, there's a reason for you telling them no. But it doesn't have to be a reason. The reason can be because you don't want to. You don't feel like it. Well, guess what? You just want to focus on you today. And if I just want to focus on me today, then it has to be no to everybody else. Now, they may not like it. They may not want it. They may be a little frustrated with me. They may even be angry with me. But guess what? They'll get past it, because such is life. I'm not the first person they'll be upset or angry with, and I won't be the last. But what I will do is I'll protect my peace, which is what you ought to learn how to do. And that's what we are today. You're carrying something that was never yours to carry. You're holding on to something that was never yours to pick up in the first place. And then it becomes so heavy that you forget about you. You don't focus on you. You don't put yourself first anymore. Now everybody else is first. Everybody else is the focus. Everybody else is the vocal point. And you're not. And then you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't feel like it, you're irritated, and you don't know why. But when you learn how to say no, and you learn how to prioritize yourself, you will absolutely learn how to pause. You don't have to respond immediately. If somebody texts you, you don't have to respond right back. You can give it 5, 10 minutes, even 15 if you need to. If they call you, you don't have to answer the phone immediately. You don't have to answer the phone at all if you don't want to. Take your time. Pause. Respond when you're ready. Respond when you have the capacity. Because when you respond outside of having the capacity to respond, the response is not the same. And it's usually not as kind. Right? You get frustrated, you get angry, and then you're like, what do you want? What do you need? And you don't say it to them, but that's how you feel on the inside. Then you try to be as kind as possible, but you're just not feeling it right now because you need to focus on you. And because of that, it makes it frustrating when people are asking things of you and you haven't taken the time for yourself. That is an absolute requirement for all of us. All of us. And it doesn't have to be, 24 hours. It doesn't have to be 10 hours. It don't have to be 7 days. It doesn't have to be, 5 hours. Sometimes taking a few seconds, taking a few minutes, taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, taking 30 minutes to just pause. Don't answer no phone. Do not reply to any emails. Do not reply to any texts. Do not go on social media, any of the platforms, because there's about 100 out there or better at this point. But don't. Pause on all of that. That will absolutely help your decision making. It will help you when it comes to trying to figure out what's next. It will help you with pausing and being able to show up for others out of love and kindness. And it will absolutely give you the capacity to be able to do so. And having the capacity is a big thing, and people don't realize that. But I want you to take a beat, take a moment, take some time in order to increase your capacity to be able to do anything. You've got to pause. You've got to pause. If there's anything in your life that's requiring a decision in this moment, and you just found out about it in this moment, pause. Don't make that decision immediately. Don't do that. Because then you're making a decision out of haste. And you're being rushed. And then you know what ends up happening? You get frustrated after the fact. And you're like, oh my goodness, I don't believe I did this. I can't believe I made that decision. I can't believe that I moved forward with this or moved forward with that. Pause. It's going to be the best thing you could ever do. To help you stop carrying what was never yours. It's to help you stop picking up what don't belong to you. And in order to stop picking up what does not belong to you, pause. Think about that for a minute. Pause. You want to protect your time, energy, peace, and capacity. But in order to do that, you got to pause. And I know I've said pause so much, but being repetitive is ways to help you remember different things. So when you get off of this podcast and get off of this video, when you leave, you're going to remember, Miss Keisha said, I need to pause. And that's what you need to do. You have to pause before anything. A decision, answering a phone, answering a text. Even get to work a little early so you can sit in your vehicle for about 5 minutes or even 3 minutes. It doesn't matter. As long as you take a few minutes to just sit still. You get to work. You have about 5 minutes to spare. Instead of going right in the office, turn off everything and just sit and breathe and pause. Even count to 60 seconds. If you're one of those persons that has to be exact with those numbers, count to 60, right? Get your 60 seconds in. And then once you get your 60 seconds in, which is a minute, then get out your car, get your bags, do whatever you need to do and go inside. Remember, it's not the length of time, it's the quality. So when you're reclaiming your time, energy, peace, and increasing your capacity, any break is a good break. Doesn't matter if it's 1 minute or 15 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 30 minutes. Pause is extremely important. I want you to think about that. Because what happens is you will continue to pick up what was never yours. You will continue to handle things that was not meant to be handed to you. You continue to hold on to things that's not for you to hold on to and not let them go. Because as long as I'm clutching it like this, it has nowhere to go. But if I have my hands open, guess what? I can give and I can receive, which means I can give you back what was never mine to carry in the first place. And then that can be yours to take care of, not mine. That can be yours to handle, not mine. That can be yours to take care of and carry wherever you need to take it to. Just don't bring it here. Now, when I talk about capacity, if it is your issue, your problem, your situation, and your thing to deal with, as a friend, as a relative, and things of that nature, I can listen to you. I can hear you if that's all you need. If you need advice, I can give you that too. But what I can't do is pick up what you got going on and taking it over here and bringing it to me. I can't do that. I won't do that because that's not fair to me. What's fair to me is to listen to you, to hear you, offer advice if that's what you want. Some people don't want advice. They just want to talk. And if that's what you want to do, I'm here for that as well. But I can't take what you're carrying and bring it over here to me. Just like I wouldn't give you what I am carrying. I wouldn't do that. But I also have learned over the years how to balance mine. So I don't let it take such a toll on me that I'm angry, mad, frustrated, and upset with the world. Nope, we don't do that anymore. That used to happen many, many years ago. I won't even tell you how many years ago it was, but it's been many, many years ago that I used to allow that to happen. When I was like in my early 20s, I was a hothead. I was an absolute hothead, and I knew that. But I didn't know how to handle that, and I didn't know how to work with it. So it took years to learn that no is a complete sentence. It took years for me to figure out I needed to put myself first, and it took years for me to realize that created balance for me. It took me years to realize that I needed balance. And then once I began to do that in my own life and put my own stuff in a good place, I started to see the same thing in others. And I'm like, wow, I've been there. I'm not perfect by any means, and I don't pretend to be. I don't want to be. However, I do want to maintain my peace. I do like to be happy. I love to smile. I love to enjoy life. But to do that, you got to maintain your peace as best you can. Adversity will always happen. Adversity will always come. Whatever that may be in your life and what's going on, adversity is always going to peek its little head in. That's always going to be the case. So it's not about adversity showing up. It's about how you deal with adversity when it does show up. And how do you manage it with yourself when it does appear? And how do you let it take a toll and just get you in a whirlwind? Or do you take it and listen? For me, I'm a pause on that for a second. I'm just going to give you an example. For me, when adversity peeks its head in, initially, when adversity comes, I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Right? And depending on what the adversity is will determine my response and how aggressive it is, how loud it may be, or how impactful it may be, right? It just all depends on what the adversity is. But once it's here, once the adversity comes, and give me about a day. I need 24 hours at least. When any adversity comes into play, give me at least 24 hours. And that 24 hours, I get a chance to absorb it. I get a chance to think about it. I get a chance to sit on it. I get a chance to really think about what my options are. I think about, is it really mine to carry? Was it really my adversity? Is it really something that I need to be taking control of? How does it impact me? That's where I am, and that's how I deal with that. Give me 24 hours. I need that at least, so that way I can determine, where does this sit with me? How am I going to handle it? Right? I have to receive it, deal with it first. I have to internalize it. I got to think about it. I got to sit on it. But once I do, then it's time to put some plan into action, right? It's time to figure out what that was, how it impacts me, how am I going to respond to it? Is it mine to really carry? Is it really my situation? And if it is, what did I do to create it? Or if it's something that I didn't do and just inadvertently it came to me, but it has something to do with me, then I have to handle it accordingly. But I need a good break so that when it does come and I do have to handle it, I can handle it from a good space and a good place, right? Absolutely, I have to handle it from there. So that's what I'm talking about. Think about that, because you can't carry what was never yours, right? And then once you determine what it is, then you need a plan of action, because no action is also action, right? What's the old saying? If you don't have a plan, then that plan is a plan to fail. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm wrong. Well, what is it? If you don't have a plan, then your plan is to fail. Something to that degree. Basically, it's telling you that, listen, if you don't have a plan or don't have anything in place, then how are you supposed to succeed? I mean, you can't fly by the seat of your pants, and some people do win by doing that, but that's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't get that grace. So I will say, if you're always answering yes, people will stop considering that you have any type of capacity. They'll stop considering the fact that they may be overwhelming and they may be overbearing to you. Because you're always saying yes, they don't realize that you have a ceiling, right? That you have a ceiling, and you don't need them to come and take over everything. You have to find out where your capacity is, and you have to teach people where your capacity is. And by doing that, it's learning that no is a complete sentence, setting healthy boundaries, and then showing up where you can so that you have the capacity to take care of whatever you need to take care of. It all just takes time, but we can do it. We can absolutely do it. And again, you can't continue to carry what was never yours. Remember, you keep picking up other people's stuff, you're going to keep on holding on to it. And as you hold on to it, guess what? How are you going to release it? How are you going to let it go? Because it wasn't yours to start with, right? But you're holding on to it, and you can't let it go. And listen, let's be honest. Some people like chaos and confusion. That's how they live. That's how they thrive. That's what they get off on. That's their life. Me, I don't invite those people into my life. And once I find out that a person is like that, I gracefully bow out. They go on and do them, and I do me. The reason for that is I don't want chaos and confusion in my life. I don't want to deal with chaos and confusion. That takes too much of my good energy that I could be using to do good things, and I could be using to do good things for me, instead of investing into something or someone or a situation where there's chaos and confusion and unhappiness and anger and just a lot of back and forth, right? That's not for me. That's not my thing. I love to be happy. I love to smile. I love to enjoy life. That's not going to be the case 24/7, but as much as I can, I try to encourage myself to be that way, because that's what I want. That's what I plan to have. That is my goal. Now, Can I have it 100% of the time? No. But can I be intentional on trying to make sure that it's like that most of the time? Absolutely. And you should too. Think about that. Stop carrying what was never yours. Stop picking up what don't belong to you. Let it go. If it belongs to somebody else, let them have it. Let them deal with it. Let them hold on to it. What you can do is focus on you, prioritize yourself, and then you can show up for others out of love and kindness as they need you. But you don't have to be there 24/7, and you don't have to let it take a toll or so much on a toll on you where you're like, I am exhausted just from a conversation. You don't have to be. You can pick and choose what you chose to deal with. You can pick and choose who you chose to talk to. You can pick and choose who you chose to give your time to. You can pick and choose whose stuff you want to carry. That is your choice. That is absolutely your choice, because you can say, no, it's not mine and I don't want to. It's not mine and I'm not going to carry it. That is your choice. For me, for Keisha Mason Campbell, I am not carrying what was never mine. I am not focused on what is not mine. I am not. As a friend, as a family member, I will show up for you. I will listen to you. I will even give you advice if you want to. But what I will not do is take on what you have and take it with me. I can't. And again, for me, adversity happens to me like it happens to everybody else. But the first 24 hours, I just take it in. I try to digest it, understand what it is, what's going on, why it's happening, all those things, right? I go through all those questions just like everybody else. But after about 24 hours, I start to ask myself, how does this serve me? How does this impact me? How do I impact it? What can I do to fix it? Like, how do we move forward? Those are questions that I ask myself. If any of those answers are, you can't do anything, it's not your battle, you can't fix it, you have no skin in the game, I remove myself. I absolutely remove myself. And granted, it's not easy to just tell somebody, oh, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. Oh, that ain't mine to carry. I don't want to do this. You don't have to do that. You can be really graceful, because somebody is being impacted by it. Even though it's not you, somebody is being impacted by it. So what you do is you bow out gracefully. One is not yours to carry. So when you're having the conversations with the person who is trying to give it to you, you can be like, no. Just how do you need me to support you? See, those are those ready responses that I teach you in my workshop. How do you need me to support you? How can I support you? What do you need as far as support is concerned? They can tell you what they need, and if they don't know and you've listened to what's going on, you can offer what you're willing to do. You can offer whatever your limitation is about how you're willing to show up for them. But that's your choice. You give what you want to give. You show up how you want to show up. You want to share what you want to share. But make sure that you are absolutely prioritizing yourself first. You stop carrying what was never yours. Learn how to be still. Learn how to be peaceful. Learn how to take your time before making a decision. Nothing goes on in life that requires you to make an immediate decision right now that you didn't know that was already coming at some point in time, and that you were eventually going to have to make a decision anyway. Very few things that come up and you didn't know that it was coming up and that you were going to have to make a decision. Very few. I will say that. I won't say it's never nothing, but there's very few things that come up in your life that you didn't know was creeping its way in, or that you didn't hear something about, or that you didn't have a conversation about, that you knew you were going to have to make a decision, or you knew that it was going to impact you, or you knew that there was going to be some type of adversity that was going to come into your space and in your place. And you had to figure out how you were going to put in your boundaries, how you were going to carry it, if carrying it at all is your thing to do. Because if it doesn't belong to you, you shouldn't be carrying it anyway. And I know it's hard for some people, because you do have some people out here that need to feel needed. And for those persons like that, when it comes to coaching, I'm not the coach for you. I'm not the coach for you. And I'm not knocking it. I am not knocking it. Some people need that. That feeds some people. It feeds them to feel needed. They need to feel like I'm being needed. But being needed to a certain degree becomes being used. And when those persons can't determine what's what, and they can't balance it, and they just have to feel needed, they just got to show up for all the things, for all the people, all the time, I'm not the coach for you. I can't help you with that, because your mindset hasn't changed, and you haven't gotten to a point where you're ready to focus on you and then show up where you can for others. Whether you have the capacity to do it or not, you need to be able to determine that. So you have a lot of people out here who need to feel needed and can't move on without being needed. You got people out here who operate in chaos and confusion, and that helps them. That's how they live. That's how they enjoy life, in the chaos and confusion, right? And listen, I can't knock it, because if that's your thing, that's your thing. So you have those persons, those persons that need to feel needed, those persons who operate in chaos and confusion. I can't help you. I'm not that coach, right? I can't help you, because your mindset is saying you need that to live. You need that to operate. You need that to give you some get up and go about yourself. I operate in peace, love, and kindness. Anything outside of that is asking a lot of me. That's asking a lot. So whenever you meet someone, you're talking to somebody, and they're rah, 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 they operating in chaos and confusion, or they are, I'm needed here, I'm needed there, everybody needs me, I got to go here, they need me, he need me, she need me, everybody needs me, but you don't have time for you. And then when you get exhausted and you need somebody, guess what? Nobody is there for you, because you haven't taught them how to be there for you. You haven't led by example to teach people how to be there for you. So that part of it, and I know we hear mindset a lot, but it really truly is a mindset on how you deal with a lot of things. For me, I don't operate in that space of chaos, confusion, and having to be needed, right? If I am needed, come talk to me. See what we can do. See what we can talk about. See what we can work on. If I can show up, I can. If I have the capacity, I will. But if I don't, I can't. So I ain't. I can only do what I can do. And I refuse to do any more than that, because I refuse to extend my capacity to a point where I can't focus on me, where I can't prioritize me. Because prioritizing me and taking care of me, guess what? Gives me the opportunity to show up for you out of love and kindness. If you don't take that chance to focus on you, then you're not always showing up out of love and kindness. You show up out of frustration, anger, the sense of feeling like I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And that's not good. And the recipient can tell that that's not a good thing. And some people are so selfish, they could care less. For those persons that are not selfish, they'll say, oh, well, what's wrong? If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And when that conversation happens, take that as an out. But most people don't. They're like, no, I got it. I can do it. I can show up. And that's okay if you have the capacity. But if you don't, take care of you. Stop carrying what was never yours. Learn how to prioritize yourself. And I want to thank you for watching one of the first episodes of the Prioritize Me podcast. We'll be dropping episodes at least once a week. Your engagement, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Tell us what you would like to talk about. Tell me what you're stuck with. Tell me how you're not able to move. What's going on, like in your family, your friend group, co-workers, or just random people that you are intermingled with in one way or another. And you just feel like you don't have the capacity, but they're just draining and taking everything from you. If that's a conversation you want to have, we absolutely can. You can put a message in the comments. Again, I am Keisha Mason Campbell on all the social medias, so you can always DM me and we can have a conversation. On TikTok, I am Auntie Key, AuntiKee. So I am Auntie Key on TikTok, but everywhere else, I am Keisha Mason Campbell. So just think about everything that we've talked about today. We will continue to have these conversations, because the goal is to teach you how to prioritize yourself so that you can show up for others out of love and kindness. Okay? So I want all of you to have a super fantastic day, evening, morning, whatever time zone you're in at this time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy all of your morning. And have a super fantastic day on purpose. And in everything that you do, do it out of love and kindness. We'll talk soon.